peace and quiet. All these lights. It's time for them to rest, so others may keep shade. Beyond that gate, you'll find a new life for yourselves. One where your illness is cured, where everyone lives happily ever after. It will be a linear illusion with little resource required to maintain. But to you, it will feel like a lifetime as real as your own. Think of it as a parting gift. You hear that, Linry? We get to live the perfect timeline. Henry? There's no point. I'm beyond grateful that our son is out there. But our purpose here is done. What truly happened beyond this world is already set. Why would another virtual ride matter when not even our own did? I've already seen all there is to see. All that truly matters. But what if you haven't? I mean, I certainly had my world shattered too, in more ways than one. But if anything, doesn't this broaden the possibilities, not narrow it? And for that matter, why does it even matter if our reality isn't base reality? They may not be the reality, but they were still our reality, and all that we'd know. I mean, who's even to say that hers is truly the ultimate end of the stack? What's beyond that gate may not be real relative to her, but it's just as real relative to us. And who knows? Maybe it'll be a glimpse of a reality that's truly out there. A reality that we can visit, in time to grow old together. What do you say? Want to go on one last trip together? You'll wait for us until then? I won't need to be. To me, time is a place. Go on. Your new life is waiting. So, my favorite Easter egg, and there were a couple, but my favorite Easter egg is the fact that Neil Watts' other name would have been Toby Fox. I think that's a really fun key homage to another very good story-based writer. We just experienced a day ago. So my only suspicion right now, based on the thing I've been told, is that this is all in Neil's head. I have no. You had a good run, huh? The bestest. It's about time. This is all I could manage to do. Is it enough? More than I could ever ask for. But I just wish we were actually here. He's here. He's been here this whole time. And from now on, he always will be. From now on, everybody. Oh, Neil. There you are. I just can't hold it anymore. I must confess to you. I just can't hold it anymore. I must confess to you. It's not funny. It's a little funny. So, did I handle it all right? Yeah. Thanks. Strange how it's supposed to be the perfect timeline. It only felt perfect because it had the context of adversity that already exists here. Without that, there's nothing to overcome. It passed by without even a meaningful ripple. But still, are you familiar with the Library of Babel? I can be. Should I download the encyclopedia on it? No. That's alright. It's this theoretical library of books containing every possible combination of letters and punctuation. Anything that can be written, or ever will be, can be found there. So it's mostly nonsense and noise, but once in a while you reach for a book and it just happens to be exactly what you need. What is that? A perimeter breach attempt. I gotta go. Perimeter breach? What perimeter? Wait, you don't mean... Neil! I don't have your stapler, I swear. Oh, don't be silly. We were just nearby. Nearby now? Very far an hour ago before deciding to be nearby. Or nearby now. Very far an hour ago before deciding to be nearby. Yeah, what are the chances, right? So anyway, we're gonna go somewhere rad. You in? How rad? Surprisingly rad. Hard pass. Gee, somebody's a party pooper. Well, alright. Guess no all-you-can-eat ice cream for Neil, then. Dork. I said, I guess no all-you-can-eat ice cream for Neil, then. We might as well, Neil. Who knows when will be the next time we'd be able to... How'd you change so fast? It's a coat, not a cocktail dress. I'm expecting greatness. You forgot to close the... Somebody in there? Hello? He and his team are some talented writers. Because I definitely had guesses, but they weren't correct by any means. I did not guess where that was going. I definitely found the story very worthwhile. I also like how everything's kind of left on a cliffhanger. My only concern is at some point if he decides he's done, that I won't, that it'll just end on a cliffhanger, which is not as good. Um, I really, really hope he decides to go all the way through with whatever story he's wanting to tell. Um, so yeah, like I was saying, so the male term for a male fox is called a Reynard. So the name Tobias or Toby Reynard is definitely a nod to Toby Fox, creator of Undertale, another phenomenal author who writes absolutely amazing characters, and it's a very charming reference. Um, I really appreciated that. I thought it was going to get much more bleak at about three different points. It certainly is not the most uplifting game of all time, but it's definitely, I don't know how he manages to write these things that have pretty grim implications that always end so satisfying. Um, it's another example, though, of one of the games where everyone I talk to says it's sad. And I feel like interpreting it as sad is oversimplifying what's going on. Because to me, especially the final outcome is very happy. It's very uplifting. It's very optimistic. It's a great way of looking at the world that even when there's severe adversity and all these tragic things, or even in this case where you find out that you don't even exist and your life didn't even really exist, at least you got to experience what is probably the best life you could have. And I really think it's misinterpreting the idea to say that it's sad. I find it very happy and uplifting and definitely charming. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad I was able to, on the debut day, play both Deltarune Chapter 2 and then also this, Impostor Factory. I absolutely, I'm so happy to have gotten to experience them. They're amazing story writing examples. I have on the back burner, I've been planning on doing it, but I've just been so emotionally worn down for months that I haven't gotten around to it. I have Rakuen, which is Laura Shigihara's game that she made. That's a story-based game, which I can say now from the amount of Japanese that I've learned, Rakuen means paradise. And so that gives some implication as to what I am kind of expecting it to go through. But no matter the case, I I do have that as a planned one. I was actually going to play it last week, and that's when I found out about Deltarune, or like a couple weeks ago, and that's when I found out about Deltarune, and so it got kind of pushed back because of that. But that just means I have three great story-based games that are all going to be kind of bundled together and shared with whoever ends up coming across this. I I'm glad I've stuck with this series. I'm glad that I have been able to be there and experience them, and hopefully even if it's just one person, get to share it with them, because they're fantastic games, and I really think that they deserve more love. To the Moon got a lot of love for a while because it was played by your big YouTubers, but I never really saw much about the others after that, and the series is so good. Just like with Undertale, Deltarune still has some pretty hefty momentum behind it, but I feel like To the Moon kind of got swept under the rug, which is sad because it's a really good series. And I mean, if you look at the kind of games I play, obviously they're not as difficult as the kind of games Shin or Izzy played, but they're definitely more story focused than what Shin plays, and more often story focused than what Izzy plays. I really like a good story in the games that I experience. That's I like a good story, and I like a story that ends with hope in some sense or another. I can't do your Lisa or your Walking Dead or those kinds of games where there's such a bleak outcome because life's already hard enough as it is, man. I'm not saying they're not good writing. I definitely commend the authors for putting as much effort and passion into them as they do. I just can't personally handle them. And so these games like this, oh my god, I live for this kind of game. I love these not necessarily challenging, but interactive enough to feel like you're in the world games that tell a really gripping, I guess wholesome would be the word, story. I mean, there's certainly non-wholesome things that happen. This one had murder. There's obviously very dark points in the Undertale stories. Um, but the overall personality is very interpersonal, very slice of life, I suppose, but more than that. It's a game that gives oxytocin, I guess is the way I would explain it. It gives you like a sincere, this is a tongue twister, sincere sensation of sentimentalism. You really feel like you connect with the characters in a very short period of time. This game took 5 hours, including my rant here. And in 5 hours, or in Deltarune Chapter 1's like 8 hours, I think it was, or Deltarune Chapter 2's like 6 hours, or Undertale's 10 hours, or the Cat Lady, for example. I don't remember how long that one took because it was a really long time ago. Um, or I'd have to think. I have some others. Fallout, when you take the path in Fallout that we took in our playthroughs for Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, um, Stardew Valley, Seasons After Fall, Dust and Elysian Tale, um, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, all these kind of games where even though they're, I mean, Mystery Dungeon's a little bit longer, but even though they're not like super long games, in that little bit of time, you can get such a, like, an impactful, strong connection. And it's wonderful. And I love that that type of game is out there. And it's sad that it is kind of a, well, it exists kind of game for people because while Undertale has shown, for example, that you can still have a very charming and, at least in a large percentage of people's minds, optimistic and upbeat, wholesome story, although it doesn't have to be. Um, Even with that, it um, a lot of times you don't see these more story focused games get that kind of acclaim. I have another one on here called One Shot, and then I also am intending at some point to get Oxenfree, which I've been told is very story based. Um, I don't know how dark that one is. I've been told One Shot is actually similar to Undertale, but not necessarily as famous, obviously. Um, but other than that, I mean, I know of maybe a little handful of those games. I'm sure there's tons of them out there. I'm sure there's plenty of people who've written their heart out into a game and it never ended up being particularly huge, despite probably deserving a lot of adoration that it didn't ever get. And I'm always happy to learn about new ones. I don't know. I could ramble and say the exact same thing 100,000 times, but I love it. I love this kind of game, and I guess my major takeaway. I haven't read The Little Prince, so I don't have as much of a book report to do like I did with the Animorphs and the what was the other one? The Emperor's New Clothes. I don't think that was the one. It might have been in there, but I don't think that was the one. I did like a book report on one of them in To the Moon, just like in the middle of my playthrough. Um, I haven't read Little Prince, so I don't have that kind of knowledge to go off of for that and to figure out how it connects to the overall story. But I have the same intensity of passion and love and adoration that this particular game also gives. It's good. Oh, I do have oxygen. Um, but yeah, I'd love to have more of these types of games. If you do come by these and you know of more not mega challenging, upbeat story games that don't leave you 100,000% hopeless at the end, like Lisa or Off or whatever, definitely let me know because I love these kinds of things. But with that said, it is super mega late, so I'm gonna raid a friend of mine. Raid hero. So I'm gonna raid with all one of me over to him, and I will be seeing you all again soon, probably. I'm hoping to be able to finish Deltarune. I don't know what's going to happen on the weekend. Possibly Izzy will be over. I haven't gotten to talk to him yet because I don't want to call him to, hey, you want to come over? And then like sleep like crap the night before and be like, all right, never mind. I was going to have you over JK Law. So I'm waiting to see how I'm doing that day, and I'll probably give him a call, see how things are going, or well, message him after work. I also have Ori and the Will of the Wisps planned to get at some point, which would be one that Izzy would play. Um, yeah, there's plenty in the pipe. Um, I really got to get to uploading on YouTube again because I'm behind by like 450 videos. But it's just one of those where you have to sit down and wait for it to load enough that it doesn't jumble your stuff and put them all on, and no one's really watching, so it's not like it's urgent. But it does kind of get backed up enough that it's going to be annoying to get back through, but I'll get there eventually. So with that said, thank you guys for watching. Have a good day, night, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. Hope to see you again real soon, and take care.